Hi, this is Andersen, Opus 33, number 6. Charles Delaney called this the Thou Shalt Not Pass etude. It's about rhythm, and it's remarkable how Andersen wrote almost all of the rhythms that we frequently see in our repertoire in this one study. There are a lot of things I could say about it, and I will in your individual lessons. But for now, I want to introduce the idea of subdividing ahead of a difficult rhythm. I'll play through the whole thing first, and then go back and play a subdivided form of the piece for you. I'll explain what that means, but for now, let me just play through the piece. What is important is that you do this with a metronome. You should play everything with a metronome, but especially this etude. I'm going to set it to 72. Eighth note at 72. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready? Awesome. All right, so now let me talk about it a little bit. Like I said, there are many, many different kinds of rhythms. In general, when you're playing difficult music with lots of these difficult rhythms, I want you to think about the rhythm that follows while you're on a long note. That make sense? Come here, take a look. Alrighty. So at the beginning of the piece, we have a doubly dotted quarter note and then a 16th note at the end. This looks weird if you haven't seen it before, but what you can do is a little bit of math. Since the time signature is 3/4, that means that every measure in this piece has 3 beats. You can think of it as 3 places of quarter notes. Given that it's 3/4, and this figure equals 1 quarter note, that must mean that this equals 2. If these two symbols, the dotted a quarter note and the 8th note, equal 2 full beats, then this, and we know that each beat, each quarter note has 4 16th notes in it, we can deduce that this doubly dotted quarter note has 7 16th notes, and there's the last 16th note to make 2 complete beats. When I play, I think of 16th notes. The click that you hear on the metronome is at the quarter note, as at the 8th note level. So when you hear that, I'll turn it on just for a second for reference. That's 8th note equals 76. So when you hear that, I want you to think this. Da, 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 da. What I'm singing is the 16th note value. What I do in my practice is I play on long notes the short note that will follow. In this case, I'm thinking in my head 16th note, so that when I get to the actual 16th note, it'll be in the same tempo that I was thinking. That's what subdivision is. In this measure, measure 2, we switch to triple time rather than the duple time here. You can think for every 8th note, 2 16th note triplets, and I'll play that for you. Measure 2, these are 8th notes, so I would think got it? I'm going to play the entire piece in what I think of in my head as the subdivisions before the notes that are smaller. So I'll go through the whole thing and just repeat the pitches that are held so you can hear what I'm thinking in my head as I'm playing. After you practice with this a sufficient amount of times, go back to the original recording and hear that in your head as you're sustaining the long notes. Here we go. The subdivided form of Etude number 6. Rest, rest. One, two, ready? I try to mess with you at the end. At the end, we have no further fast notes. So you can lock into the quarter note beat for the diminuendo Bs. After all of the calculations you had to do the previous measure, you can think of eighth notes. Or you can think 16th notes, as we have been doing the entire piece. And the last note is supposed to be as soft as possible, pianissimo. You can actually finger a low B if you have 3 keys on the bottom, and do a harmonic on that note. So low B sounds like this. And if you increase the speed of air by double, then you'll get the octave. And you can play that extraordinarily quiet. It's a sensitive fingering. And harmonic. Barely audible. So, I recommend that you do that. As you heard, throughout the entire piece, I was going back and forth between the 16th note subdivisions and the triplet 16th notes, duple time and triple time. This can be very confusing at first. My recommendation is practice playing with the second recording until you get used to what you should be feeling when you sustain the notes, and then go back and play it with me in the original recording until you really lock into those rhythms. There's lots and lots I can spend talking about this, so I'll do that in your personal lesson. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'd be more than happy to help. Good luck and happy practicing.